bad
keep
about
going.
me. What is this?
It's pretty wild for him to say that. I mean, it's a wild position for him in particular to say that,
what?
considering, you know,
What is he
the
saying?
org that he was a part of and how many people had to leave the organization.
Do you know why they had to leave? It's because I was one of the people that made that decision. And at the time that
he's talking about when he got banned. Yeah, he left, I think it was OTK, whenever he got that week ban from Twitch, because he wanted to talk about things. He wanted to do more political things that he didn't want the company that he was part of to feel like they had to back him if they didn't. Kind of like the Pokimane thing, where her crew of editors and whatever didn't want to publish the video of Hasan, and they didn't, and they went behind her back. That's kind of the same thing. He doesn't want them to feel like they have to cash his checks for things that he says and does. That's why he did that. That's why he left. He chose to leave. They didn't kick him. He chose to leave.
Decide whether I was going to support something like that or not. I made the best decision possible. At least at the time.
Guy's biggest dick rider and only remaining bestie is TecTone.
Who?
I can understand why TecTone and Hasan don't like each other.
Okay. So if you don't know, TecTone's dad has... I don't even know if he's been charged with it, if I'm being completely honest. I don't want to say something that is condemning if it's not true. But apparently TecTone's dad has had some allegations of, like, sexual assault. But nothing really ever came of it, and then Hasan took that and kind of ran with it. It's kind of crazy that as a big entertainer like this, like, I know Hasan, he usually streams to about 30K people, Asmon to like 40 or 50. And ever since Asmon got his week suspension, he's come back and he's been a little bit more of a fence sitter. And the reason for that, and I understand this now, is when you get this many people, when you get that many people watching you constantly, 30, 40, 50,000 people, the threat of being sued for defamation is always lingering. And you really have to be careful what you say, because when you've got that many people, you can change the flow of the internet at the drop of a hat. Just on something you think is true, and come to find out it's not.
Tweet about each other a lot. They say a lot of negative stuff about each other. Hasan has said a lot of bad stuff about TecTone. TecTone said a lot of bad stuff about Hasan. Here's the difference. The things that Hasan is criticizing TecTone for are in a twit longer, and the things that TecTone is criticizing Hasan for are on camera.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Is seemingly
it's easier for TecTone to say he shocked his dog than it is for Hasan to say that his dad is, that way. And it does kind of bother me that every time he has beef with TecTone, he always tries to fall back on what his dad did. His dad is not TecTone. TecTone is his own person.
Generational rapist. Like, not even...
That's right, because TecTone's dad had some sort of, like, weird fucking thing happen. By the way, what the fuck does his dad have to do with any of this?
Exactly.
Like, I don't even understand the logic here. Why are we even talking about TecTone's dad?
Yeah, it doesn't involve TecTone.
It's weird.
That's the only thing that Hasan has. You see, that goes back to the argument that we had made of if you have a good argument for something and somebody can't attack your argument, they're going to attack anything they can grab a hold of. They're going to grab the way you word something or the way you spell something, or they're going to try to deflect, and they're going to, like this is a good example of deflection. He's going to, instead of addressing the conversation at hand, he's going to deflect and talk about TecTone's dad, which does nothing for the conversation. And Hasan is known for doing this. He is known for doing this.
Generational, literal, original sin. Yeah, like TecTone was it's what a weird thing to say.
Even has he been credibly accused by former partner?
Well, I didn't say credibly accused. I said convicted.
Mm-hmm.
Has he been convicted?
That's kind of another thing is like, look, you may not agree, like, for example, with the Diddy trial, but if he wasn't convicted of those things, and if you go online with an audience this big and you say, I know he did it, and X, Y, and Z, and he should be sitting in jail because he did X, Y, and Z, you can get sued for defamation. You can. And he's got a lot more money than you. So, like, it all falls back down to what you have to be careful what you say. That's why anytime you notice when we watch the Midwest safety videos, he always says innocent until proven guilty after. They're being charged with these things, but unless they end up getting, like, actually, like, fooled through in court in jail, and a guilty sentence is done, you can't say that. Even if they pled not guilty or no contest, and they still got guilty, there is a chance that it could be overturned later, and you can still get sued. So you have to be careful with what you say.
Gone to trial. The answer to both of those questions are no, which is one of the reasons why I don't know why. See, this is what I find to be funny, is that, and I get that TecTone and Hasan are way more aggro at each other than I am, right? I'm not really very, I'm critical of Hasan, but I'm not like as aggro as he is with TecTone. But the difference is that you probably shouldn't have been calling him a rapist before he got convicted to be a rapist. Mm-hmm. Unless you have some sort of, like, insider information that nobody else knows about that proves it, and in which case, please provide that to the authorities so appropriate action can be taken.
Exactly.
But I don't think that you do. So whenever you're reading something like this and you automatically make a decision and you're telling your viewers, you have a lot of viewers, okay? He does. A lot of people watch Hasan. You should not be telling all these people that a person who was accused of this is a rapist. You shouldn't be doing this. It's a mistake. I don't know why you do this. Now, I don't want to get involved because I know TecTone has said a lot of bad stuff about Hasan. Mm-hmm. I get it. But all I'm saying is that I think it's pretty unfair, if you look at it from my perspective, that all of these allegations and everything, you're trying to compare them with a conviction.
Exactly.
It's just not the same thing. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's literally
like
just not the
you
same
can
thing.
say somebody did something, and you can take them to court, but if the court finds in the other person's favor, you can't still run around and say that, because then they can sue you for defamation. That's what happened with Johnny Depp in the Amber Heard trial. She wouldn't keep her trap shut, and he ended up suing and winning with the evidence that should have been presented in the court case whenever she was trying to divorce him. And he won that.
Partners. But also, his dad apparently was such a prolific sexual assaulter
Jesus Christ.
that his sexual...
Why the fuck are you talking about his dad? What does this have to do with anything? Because they weren't convicted. And you shouldn't be calling them as if they did the things that they're being accused of.
It's
I think
defamation.
he's really like. I mean, this is the thing. I mean, this is honest advice to Hasan. The fact is, and this is the case with me too. We are getting into a position where he and I are both very, very successful in our careers. He is very successful, and I think that I am too. That is also a problem because people will see people like us say something and they will try to dissect it and figure out a way that they can sue us.
There it is.
Hasan needs to watch out by saying this random stuff and going off and coming up with these names about people and saying this stuff, because eventually you're going to run yourself into a defamation lawsuit.
There it is.
And it doesn't matter how many Twitter orbiters you have and how many people you ban in chat. Whenever you're sitting there in the courtroom being accused of defamation or lying about somebody, it's not going to matter whether there's a genocide going on.
Yep.
It's not going to matter whether, what his dad did. It's not going to matter any of these other bullshit accusations. What's going to matter really is Zionist. Is this person took money from Israel or something. It's ridiculous. And you're going to like, and I think really he should look at, like, really, I mean, he will not admit this publicly, but take a step back and think about it, Do you think that you handled the dog collar thing very well?
No.
I think the
all.
answer to that probably is no.
I mean, look at what he's doing right now. I mean, he's trying to deflect and use TecTone's dad to mitigate some of the damage that, TecTone is stirring up on Twitter or X by bringing up his dad. Like it's not